Oi, what's up? It's Demented, and today I want to take a closer look at Anamo in particular, because he's someone I've been planning on looking at for a while, and I've always thought of him as fairly mid-tier, but nothing that really stands out. So I really want to get like an actual good assessment of Anamo and eventually work towards, hopefully, when I'm done looking at everyone, making a main support tier list for everyone. So with that being said, let me open up this. I want to do Dynasty versus Dragons solely just because I think if there's any person that I would want to have an alright player matching up against, it would be a person that I think it is fairly high regarded in LGG. So I'm hoping that I can get a good assessment from it. But with that being said, let me start my lo-fi and getting into my normal preface. I am Demented. I mostly look at main supports and will cross over into flex support soon enough, but I mostly look at the role in a very harsh manner due to the role being less developed than any other role, and I think I really need to be the change that I want to see in the role and make them meaning main supports hold to a higher degree as every other role is. So with that being said, let's get into it. So I mean, already offer it not like crossfading, which I love already, because that's a huge pretty fucking early on the amp in my opinion. Like, so okay, there's a couple things about this because this sounds like visually this looks like an amp that was called for. And why that matters is basically if your main tank calls for you to amp, you amp no matter what, because I mean, if someone tells you to amp, then you're able to immediately make that decision because someone else told you to without thinking too much about it, and you don't have to worry about basically it being a bad play on your part because someone else is now in control of your cooldowns. But overall, this was a really bad amp because you're amping before you're even like peeking out, and basically like first off, I already dislike, I don't know how he got booped. Anyways, but like speed amps, just as an example, like it's one thing to speed amp in general, which I've always been quite negative of, but if you're wanting to get into kind of the area that the other team's in, like speeding as soon as you actually get on to the point instead of while you're still outside, especially because you have like your Sig on the far side and your Riss on the other. So right now you're speeding 3 people to a place that they can't follow up on because there's other 2 people that aren't in the speed that are going to ultimately not make it there in time, or are going to be very delayed in the sense that you're also already 1 person down, which I didn't even mention, but this is already fucked basically. And the tempo and like the timing of it is just way too fucking early. But I'm trying to remember if this is I'm pretty sure this is the map Lee Jae-gung gets like a shit ton of boop kills on. But even though that doesn't necessarily matter. Okay, let's watch this rotation. Okay. So the speed was good up until then, but then like you're amping after Prophet's already dead? Okay. So this is also, I think, kind of due to a lack of scouting to an extent, because looking at this, Prophet dies and that's unfortunate obviously, but what would, like, if we're even looking in hindsight, what would this amp have done? Because realistically, Prophet gets bursted by that shit, and I think the only alternative that would have made it that would have saved Prophet would have been a shot from creative and not having to waste heal amp, but we use it anyways, and that then makes it to where, like, if you're down one, it's obvious, at least in my eyes, that if they're on double shield, that as long as they have the Lucio, pretty much they're gonna come and try to cut you off because they don't want you to get out for free. And now that's where this engagement comes in, and you're now taking an engagement without amp and you're still on speed. Okay, at least the speed part gets adjusted, but still no amp. So now all of, oh man, that's painful. I want you to look at the health bars, specifically creative and 2Us. Look how low they get. Like, you heal amping those two would probably have shot you up to 90% easily in my eyes, but that was all just like a snowball effect of, I think, Prophet getting caught out, which sucks, but is what it is. And then here's this. So, damn. That's so unfortunate that Void fucking hit himself on the way down, because that would have been enough to probably get beat almost. But I mean, there was nothing Anamo really could have done. Like, okay, like I get people that question like how hard I go on people that like use speed amps, and I'm okay with some speed amps, but I want you to have an overhead perspective and tell me what this speed amp does. Amp just came out. What was the fucking point of it? That was a hard speed amp to go from this way to this way. Like, they didn't go anywhere. They're still holding the same place that they initially amped in. And now, because of that, and because of that complete waste of fucking amp timing wise and everything, now Anamo's down tremendous and is like really getting beat at a slower pace than LJG. But it's also worth mentioning that Anamo was never even like that far off of Lee Jae-gon before the 2 boop kills, which obviously the boop kills helped a little bit, but like it's these things, man, that it's like fuck, because now, like, dude, I cannot express to you how good it is to amp in the middle of a flux. Like, what are the odds of you dying? Still pretty fucking high, but you get so much fucking ult charge off of it. Now, I would assume he does get beat here anyways. Never mind. I mean, he's gonna passively build it, I guess, but like, I hope you can understand that that point. Alright, I think that was an amp to get the ball out of spawn, which I'm not the biggest fan of necessarily. That was rough. Like, Anamo looks like he knows how to get boop kills, but doesn't set himself up for it fairly well. But I mean, this map has just been a really wacky one. Okay. Speed amp there is fine. There's a few crossfades in here that I don't like. That's a fine amp. Wait, was... Okay, so that was nearly a full heal amp. Just a little bit on the tail end to, I think, try to get gesture out, but it is what it is. I think this might just be a bad map to look at just because of how many boop kills LGG gets. Because, like, regardless if anyone has their team getting booped off this much, it's, like, really difficult. But I now want to bring to your attention that LGG has gotten 2 boop kills and is now on par with Anamo. This is why heal amps are important. Because when you get a boop kill, you get all the ult charge off of that person. So the fact that Lee Jae-gon killed Creative and Fitz with a boop, getting all the ult charge off of killing those two, and Anamo is nearly outpacing him, speaks for itself. And I think that realistically should speak for itself. Now, like, granted, fucking Lee Jae-gon should probably, like, do a little bit more healing and shit to, like, start stomping on Anamo's ult charge, but that's just where I'm thinking. And even then, it's like I want to watch the rest of this engagement, because I want you to keep an eye on Anamo's ult charge versus LJG's, because this is very telling. Still mostly staying on heals. He's doing like little mini fades where he like goes to speed and instantly swaps back. That was still a rough amp. That beat's fine. Wait, did Void get rocked or flashed? So tell me, because there's still people that are confused where I'm coming from, where my point is with the whole, like, you know, heal amps are just objectively better. Why does Anamo have beat before LJG, who has killed 4 people up to this point, including, I believe, Fitz, Creative, Tuyu, and I think Fitz again? Or something like that. Or maybe it was Creative and Tuyu, but it's like, those are big kills. Yet he still got outpaced to beat because Anamo's just doing a better job with amps. It's not difficult. Okay, we're losing the we were losing the crossfades a little bit, but I really like this for the most part. Like the pacing, the beat pacing, I think is great here. Okay. Again, I don't like this. I don't like this. So this is, I guess, more of a macro thing from their team, but I think if you have a Mei and the other team has a hard spam, you can either look to like wall off like an individual person, like for instance Fate here, or like you could kind of do like a wall engage in terms of like let's wall in front of Fate, block as much damage as we can with it, and push the wall, and then we don't have to invest amp until we actually get there. But instead, because of not doing that, we amp pretty much full speed here. But as soon as we get to the destination, we swap to fucking heals, even though we get booped off, which is still whatever. Okay, that I want that map to be taken with a grain of salt though, to be fair, because that was like the Lee Jae-gon map, so Mercy gameplay here. Okay. I wish Anamo would pocket Fitz a little bit more here, personally. There you go. And just because right now, okay, we're kind of everywhere right now. Okay, hold on. Why? Okay, no tanks, no tank pocket, no. Only pocket tanks if they're below half HP and our other healer can't get to them. Right? That's just a general rule of thumb. But we keep losing Fitz. But right now, I think right now the biggest yeah, the biggest issue is just kind of like spam going to different people. I think I've always said that like in an Ashe Echo comp, like perma pocketing the Echo isn't the worst thing, but if you want like that little extra like juice, then especially because they're on Widow, you want Fitz to at least have a fucking chance at out sniping the Widow instead of it being like completely one-sided. Also, do not full send staying with Prophet. So other people are in LOS. Do you not know voids there? Okay. Wait, what the fuck? Why'd you not swap to... whoa. Okay. Even if we're just using context clues, as soon as we see that a squishy of ours is getting pulled at however bullshit this pull is, immediately pocket. Especially because they have Echo. That's really poor reaction time, actually. And then there's another thing that I've said in the past with Mercy, where it's like you're with one person for so long that you kind of don't have a backup plan if you get pressured out or if they get pressured out. So it has to take a little bit of damage on the way out. Again, I really wish Fitz would get some pocket here. Especially because a pocketed Ashe on an off angle is so much more threatening than just a normal Ashe. And I think you can tell how big the threat is by the amount of ult charge Fitz has. Like, it's just not good in my eyes. See, now... Okay. So, Anamo went from, like, at the very beginning, like, healing, like, little bits of, like, poke that the tanks were taking, but now that it's, like, actually matters, he's not fucking peeling. Especially because creative fell. I don't know why creative fell, but that's LOSing creative, and if you use context clues, just start healing gesture and then you're gonna get fucking Valk, and realistically you getting Valk before rally not only should happen but should benefit your team a lot more, because then the Brig is still gonna have to int harder to get rally. This is just, I think, again, from not having really like a backup plan of anyone to go to. Why? Why? Never, no, 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 no. We don't pistol in this household. First off, was flying low enough to the ground to where LJG could get 2 procs of Inspire. Why? That was already... So this is already you not only going in, having to use Valk to get in, but like... Gets hit once, gets hit twice, is already at 80 HP on the way in. So like, and there's so many more, there's so many like smarter ways to touch, which obviously for this one it's very weird, because you have to touch in like very unique ways really fast and not let them get this like last 2%. But so initially flies out to like around this area. Gesture just died over here, and the best thing about Orisa's dying and stuff is a lot of the time they'll drop their shield before they die. So here's a completely healthy shield. Let me get a better angle on it. But here's a completely healthy shield that is just not getting used while you're constantly regenning in Valk. Because instead you want to pistol no one for no reason. And plus the pistoling makes you so much more vulnerable to get killed, instead of just perma-flying. Okay. And then I really am hoping that I can see Anamo Brig next. So this is fine. Going with Prophet is fine. You could just sit in the windowsill. Like this windowsill on the top left side was fine to sit in. But it looks like they're just gonna win. I mean the pistol was unnecessary, but whatever. Okay, I don't know how this map goes, but since the series only has 3 maps, I'm assuming Dragons will win, but I don't know how. Okay, let's... Because we look like we get a little lost here. I mean, okay. Nothing too much you could have done. Still pocketing Prophet even in the flux, or even in the, that thing. Did you just get Valk forced by a Bob? Why? That is horrible. Like, Bob is so unthreatening to a double shield. Like, especially one that's literally in the middle of one of your shields. Like, okay. You're giving this Bob value by Valking. Especially because when does... So, LJG uses Valk. The same time they're using Bob. Right now, you have gotten that out while using Copy, Dragons, and Bapple. If you're winning an initial engagement, don't over ult it. You need to finish off that like second wave, because after the first wave of people are killed, it's not long until more people come back, and then you have to like turn the tempo again, because tempo is going to be in their favor and spawns are going to be in their favor, but you have to understand how to bounce back once again. But you wasting Valkyr, that is a team amping ability that you just blew because you were scared of a Bob that got insta burned anyways. I don't know why you're jiggle peeking the window. Let me also check beam usage on or during the Valk. Yeah, this is also like really. Now that I'm looking at it, you're like constantly healing. Even when like most of your team is healthy, it's like it's a team amping ult, and you can either amp the heals or you can amp the damage. And this isn't Lucio where you want to amp heals because you want to build more to ult. You want to fucking amp more damage, mostly because not only if you're amping damage that can build your ult again, but like you want to overwhelm them with damage, especially while you have like a copy out or something. It's wild. What the fuck? Why are we taking so much poke? I was just like on 2x speed because I thought there was no reason to look at anything here. So it takes 3 or 4 shots from the Reaper and flies into the duel. That res is fine. The peel was really late. Oh, alright. I mean, even though that the peel was super late, I think that was just sort of a tough fight for them regardless. Again, what the fuck? 4-star Valk? What's going on? Like, you didn't get pulled, you got peppered by Izayaki. Why? I'm not a fan of this. Jesus Christ. Like, plus Mercies that pull out pistols are like, they go from actually having nuts to like them dropping out of the fucking stratosphere. From going from like a Glock, like you want to take a fight and looking to Glock someone, and then as soon as they start fighting back, you just run away. Okay, but we get to see Brig now. Okay, we're already low packs. We already are out of packs. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get overwhelmed by this, holy shit. Alright, pack usage and barrier poke is already stuff that I'm seeing. Like, just kind of spams packs. Like, I don't like that at all. Why? Why were you solo rotating? Like, I wanna... Okay. It's good because you're alive, but like... Also, this hard shielding shit is pretty fucking cringe. Like... So we're already spam packing, and we don't have any packs for the actual fight. Like, personally, Mercy was already good here. Then goes for an ego flail. But you have another one up, so it doesn't really matter. Immediately, as soon as you see pull come out, bash. Either bash the way you were going, or bash to where you want to go. It's fucking wild. Okay. Because for some reason, plus your shield's already so weak by the time like you get pulled that they burst it so easily. It had less HP than a Tracer. Also doesn't get Inspire until Fate literally sprints it into their team. Is just kind of spamming cooldowns. That's fine, but we still literally have like there's no like resource management. It's just constantly packs coming out, and then there was us deciding to pick or to pack gesture instead of packing creative for some reason. And then overstaying our welcome. Like, it's so easy to just survive this. Now, as soon as you start ticking, or as soon as you tick that Inspire, fuck off. There is no reason to stay. But then he kind of jiggle peeks, but also, like, if they're walking at you, like, do a quick little flail, because that's extra damage as well as it backs them up a bit. And if they're still pursuing you, then you bash away. Because his bash was up, it was very, like, would have been like a straight off cooldown kind of up, but it was up nonetheless. Why? What are these packs? And I never talk about packs. I hardly ever talk about packs, but these are god awful. That's a fine flail. Now you should be getting aggressive because you have Inspire, but whatever. Why? You're so far away. Like, rally as you're push, because that looked like reactionary. That looked like you were doing it defensively, but look how little they cared about this pull. Because they just used Flux. Like, they already used resources in that corridor, and y'all just backed up. And then Fate literally is like, oh, look, I'm gonna minusculely adjust their position. Boom. Zoop. And immediately you fucking rally. I want to look at how far away Seoul is from the dragons. Does this look like you're gonna be taking a brawl anytime soon? You still got a lot of fucking distance to make up. Plus, you're gonna get spammed this entire way. And then also this entire way, because assuming they're gonna, like, after their first line of defense, they're gonna just back up back here. Like, that's so fucking dumb. And not to mention, like, the only reason I'm griping about this, because it's very much a timing thing, but it's right after, like, as soon as this pull were to be over, and then they get through like the actual choke that they're trying to get through, then you fucking rally, because then you're making them actually like have a reason to be feared. But it looks like you're just scared as shit of getting like one-shotted by literally a comp that cannot realistically one-shot you. And like, sure, fucking Echo can blow you up, but whatever, but that's like nitty-gritty shit. But like, this is so not good in my eyes. And plus, we're not even getting like aggressive with it. Have we procced Inspire since we have rallied? Because we get that proc there, which was a good proc to be fair. Just doesn't look for a rally. Like, I would have even preferred, because like you see the little like hesitation here. Like, you see Anamo kind of peek the Orisa shield and then back up, like looking for an angle for a flail. This is evident. And not to mention, like, he still does see Fate. He does see Fate. And instead, like, you're permanently getting beefed up right now. So act like it. You walk these guys up, like, take what you want, which is Inspire. You go, smack his ass, and then then you're good. Go beat him up, take his lunch money, get yourself Inspire, fucking collect your gatherings, get up and fucking leave. But instead, we're only getting armor. Which, that's cool, but it would be a lot cooler if we were getting armor and health to not directly affect our armor if we get chipped. Because if we take chip damage, then who fucking cares about armor? Plus, not to mention, still like barely no packs. Again, ego flailing. It still is not procced Inspire. Finally procs it off Bob. At least he's got that going for him. Just gave Bob a brand new angle to look at, which actually fucked his team over more. Yeah. Not the biggest fan of that, personally. Okay, last map. That was something. But currently the way I'm thinking about it is probably Lucio is the best, and then like Lucio, Tear Break, Mercy, Brig is at least the way that I'm thinking about it right now. If I'm being for real. Let's see, do you play Brig at all here? Just want to get a feel for what we're playing here. Nope, just straight Mercy. So I might only do like half of this round, since we already did most of Anubis on Mercy. Just to see if anything changes or anything like that, but that would be a surprise to me. But I really like the Lucio for the most part, but everything else has been like very lackluster. Taking poke for no reason. Why? Especially because you... What are you doing? Okay, this is the scariest shit I've ever seen. This is like a fucking... This is like you went on a roller coaster. Like Prophet's the roller coaster, and you like... Your seat like... buckled out of like the normal seat harness, and you just went flying up. And now there's one-shot potential, which should scare you, because ultimately, if they were on like Echo Kree or some shit, fucking who cares if you like overfly, overextend, whatever. Like, sure, you can get poked down over time, but like peeking certain angles doesn't really matter. But as soon as like over here, when you kind of over peaked a little bit too much, and like here where you're basically super jumping into the next fucking millennium, like that's the shit that's gonna get you killed. Even if it's just for a brief moment, you're giving people the opportunity. And even if people don't take that opportunity, you should assume that they should, or that they would be taking that opportunity. Also, just as a side thing, for people, you can actually sit on top of these if you want. And I think it's a really good place to like LOS and not be directly on the ground, but be a little bit elevated. Okay. Getting a little bit better about playing in cover. Still not fully peeling creative. Okay. Just wide peek that. Holy shit. Peeked it 3 times. We peeked the window 3 times before we respect it. Res behind dumpster. What the fuck are you doing? Okay, yeah, you deserve to die here. But, like, creative dying here is rather unfortunate. But also, why here? You're now making this either a gesture is gonna take a fuck ton of poke, or like I'm gonna get sniped, when it's like, oh, you know what doesn't take damage? A fucking dumpster. A literal dumpster that you can fucking dude, okay, not to mention, like, I think Lip might be going on like a flank, but if we're just looking in general, he's going on high ground for the most part, and all of the damage is coming from this way. Would you rather keep ego peeking a full spam, or fucking hide behind something that literally can't take damage and can protect you from taking damage? I really don't like this. And plus, like, getting chunked that much is really bad to see. Not to mention, doesn't peel for anyone, really. Okay. I still just don't like, especially when the other team has one-shot potential. Please, like, give Fitz a chance. Like, I know he's not the most consistent player, but like, come on, man. Like, give him at least a thought that he could be, or that he could go wild. Come on. So this is okay. That was fucking dumb. Okay. So looking at all this again, we're heel pocketing like Bob and shit. Look how many hit markers you got from being on that shit for a second. You were on fucking damage for a second, and you just amplified your entire team. Wow, because that's what the fucking ult does. That's crazy. Like, you are a second bongo, realistically. A second bongo that is mobile as fuck, that doesn't die very easily, unless you, I don't know, try to pistol whip a fucking Hanzo. Like, and about this pistol shit, it's like, I don't understand it. Especially because while he's going for it, he just saw Void on that angle. And like, sure, this like scooches fucking lip off of the angle, but it's like, realistically, like, you are staring into the face of death. You should assume that he's gonna hit this shot. Especially because, like, this is the highest tier of play. Like, sure, it's okay to disrespect some people, but it's like, this is Lip we're talking about, and you're ego peeking him because you think he's not gonna hit a shot on you on Hanzo. You're fucking delusional. Please, Pocket Fits once. I really just, I want to see Pocket do, or fucking Fits do anything. There we go. Nope, we're back to gesture. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Whatever, man. Do you not care? Oh my god. You just don't care about creative. So I want to look at this from this perspective, because look how low creative is for how long. Like, as soon as you see that Lamp gets forced out by your BAP, just peel for him, because odds are they've probably already either blown shift or just used it and aren't regenning enough to get to basically get on their feet outside of using Lamp. So you have this entire duration, not only the duration of how long it took them to tick down this much of his health bar, but now you have the Lamp's health bar to also like react to this. And you also saw that there was the ability for him to, I think when creative dies like right here or something, he has the opportunity to fly to him. So he's not like it's out of range or anything, or that it's like stupidly out of range. It's just lazy peeling. And like, sure, you can say this is a dangerous cross section to cross over, but you're crossing against Void and Fate, which if it was either of the DPS, I would have agreed with you, but since there's no DPS in here, who cares? Who the fuck is gonna burst you down? Like, Sigma has to do some nutty shit. And if he does, sure, fine, good for him. He can have a cool fucking Twitter highlight. That doesn't matter though. What we care about is actually fucking winning. But instead, we're doing this dumb shit. And we're just scared. And it's like, why? What the fuck? I want to understand. Okay. So creative dying, first off. Here shows the ear. He was able to fly to him. But like, he doesn't go to peel for creative. If we're assuming that he didn't go because of the cross section, why in the fucking world would you go for this res? Not only in front of Lip, but in front of the backline that you just respected too much to go and peel for creative. Still was ego peeking Lip there. This is fine, kinda. Like the positioning here was really kind of messy. Like gliding off to the side was a little bad. Just stay on fucking jail here, to be honest. There was no reason to drop. Like, Especially because even though that they have range in Fleta and Lip, like, they have to go through so much effort just to specifically kill you unless Lip headshots you. Outside of that, they have to go out of their way to do something about you. But instead, you flew into your team, and that's why Lip was able to clap. Unlucky, unlucky, unlucky. Now we care about Fitz. Let's go. Well, we did care about... Oh, why? Okay. So... Okay. Let's look at this a little bit slower. Okay. So this, like, going from position to position is fine. So then they obviously wanted to try and drag in the res, but we started resing way early, in my opinion. Like, we res before we're around the corner. That's a no-go in my book. Which, I mean, we end up having to get lamped for, and then because of Prophet dying, why? Like there was nothing you really needed to swing in your favor that Bob couldn't have done. Because Bob comes out almost instantly. And then... Okay. Damage finally. This is fine. There's something that you can do with Sigma as well, is like specifically with damage boosting Sigmas, because there's like a delay and like he throws the 2 orbs, waits, has to get him back, and then throws 2 again. If you get the timing right, you can actually like damage boost each orb and then heal in between each orb being thrown. If you just want to min-max it a little, excuse me, a little bit. I have the hiccups. Fuck. We're gonna get through this. So we're back to pocketing Prophet. I don't know why, like, it seems like whenever Prophet dupes, we just don't know what to do. Because it's either constantly healing Prophet, or just, like, completely autopiloting and, like, healing one of the tanks. First off, Fitz is on the table for healing, or for pocketing in general. Prophet, like, you can damage boost Prophet to have him build ult even faster if you really wanted, but like, I don't know. I don't like the whole, I don't like the pocketing here. And then we're just going back to spamming everyone, and then we find a home in Prophet. We missed the stickies because we LOS'd ourselves. Please care about Fitz. Please top off Fitz. There we go. See, that's fine because you're relieving pressure. That Valk was fine. It was defensive centered. That's fine. That's fine. This res is fine. What the fuck is this? Okay. I was more focused on Fleta Bap than anything. Like, I mean, you're lucky Void died, because you would have been right in the middle of that shit. Was ready to fucking whip out the Glock on absolutely nobody. That's wild. I mean, like, do you see what I mean here? Where it's like, there's nothing, there's no sense of direction after Prophet copies. Plus, not to mention, like your people go up here, like, Prophet goes and forces his own fucking dupe, and that's fine. But just sit with Fitz. There's nothing wrong with sitting with Fitz, because then Fitz can be comfortable in the off angle, and then you can be, like, in the vicinity enough to care creative if need be. But instead, we're just doing a whole bunch of nonsense, man. Plus, not to mention, like, again, high grounds for Mercy are fucking crazy. So with that being said, just stay on the fucking high grounds. Especially if it emits, like, if it not emits pressure, but relieves pressure, in a sense. Because, let me bring up that right now, if we were to back this up and assume that, like, run this exact fight back, still Prophet dies, whatever, but we now have Fitz and Anamo up here, how they're now taking pressure from Tuyu going this way, Gesture, I mean, we can just say fucking, we can just say Gestures, like, on cart, a window from creative, and then Prophet is, like, circling everywhere. So you're now having so many ways of pressure instead of just forward now. Like, it's, I don't know, I'm really not a fan of it. Rez in the dragon. Please, Rez. Like, that hesitation is so bad. Especially because, like, especially when you have a Hanzo that doesn't know that they made a good play by dragoning your Rez, but, like, especially because, like, they were on Brig and shit, so their Brig had to int to get value. And if their Brig had to get in the melee range, if you res here, but they can't come through over here, they now have to blindly try and shoot a permanently healing Moth mid-res. With this cart also being cover in the process. It's very tough to do. It puts them in a very rough situation because they want to deny res, but they can't really extend too far to get a good angle on you, and they're kind of just having to, like, shoot blindly. They're putting resources into something they don't know if it's going to hit. They don't know if it's going to emit value. But regardless, so this looks like, okay, so it looks like there's only one more round. We can do that. I've been wanting to say for a while, but like it seems like Anamo loses profit just a tiny bit. And I don't like Mercy's being the exact same way as the rest of the team. I feel like it's really bad for pressure, but this Valk is fine. See, this is where I get confused, because we've seen twice now that Anamo has tried to pistol whip someone when it doesn't make sense to. And I want to know where that is. I want to know where that moth energy is when Fleta is running away from you and your Echo at 2 bars, 3 bars. Like where's the pistol whipping? Like, you peek him. Where's the are you not gonna? Okay, a res in lamp is fine, but then just not knowing where to go is not. Like, look how far in the open Anamo plays. Like, well, if you're doing that in like in the lamp, that's fine, but then don't hover. Because like the staying in res, or staying in that kind of way after the fight, is so bad. And plus, you have 2U to fly to. You just res gesture. You could literally use gesture as like a meat shield if you really wanted to. There's so many different ways this could have been played, but instead it was just kind of hovered out and about. Still don't like topping off gesture just because creative could have gotten window off of it. Barely gets to go with them on the off angle. This is a scary place for Anamo to be, especially because Dupe just came out. Yeah, Anamo just does not know where to go, it seems. As soon as Prophet dupes, it's all out the window. But it's just like, pocketing Fitz is not horrible. Plus, you're already on an off angle with Fitz. But instead, you're like the pre-pocket on creative is fine, but it's like, I said this with, I believe, either Dredro or Onsoon J, one of those two. And like, the great thing about Mercy is being able to pocket through enemies. So if we play this back and Anamo, so creative is still here, Void is still like here, if not like a little bit farther back. If Anamo slingshots around and then goes behind where Void is, now Void has to decide whether he wants to shoot creative or shoot Anamo. He can't do both, but instead you look like you have no idea what you're fucking doing and just kind of like go back and forth and get fucking killed, or get both of you killed actually. As well as if Void chooses to shoot creative instead of you, since gesture was right there, gesture could have possibly gotten rezzed even in my example, but I digress. Taking poke. I don't exactly like Valking while Bongo's out. Like, I'd much prefer Bongo get the separate pressure from like, I think separation pressure is a thing where it's like, I would much rather, if I'm on the other team, I would much rather have you guys Valk and Bongo at the same time, because then all your damage comes out first and initially, and then it all goes down at the same time, instead of like if I was on Dragons and just hypothetically we were like, okay, let's flip the script actually, and let's say like Dragons were pushing and you Bongo initially, then we're just like, okay, fuck, we can just wait that out, whatever. And then waiting that out, and then like popping Valk immediately after that, then you're like, okay, I mean, I don't really want to wait this out, but I mean, we're already like waiting, so fuck it. But even then, it's like, even if they do decide to push it, they're pushing while there's more pressure over a longer period of time, instead of more pressure in a short period of time, because you're making your team, you're asking a lot from your team to perform something to perform very well with a lot of pressure and a little bit of time, as opposed to giving your team more opportunities to succeed, which I think really is fucky for everything. Just his wide peeking lip. It seemed like the rooftops weren't really getting utilized that much, but this is just overtime stall. God, they really wanted to make this last a while. Okay. And there it is. So again, as I said, I would probably have to say the Lucio was probably the best out of Anamo's stuff, and then like a tier break, and then Mercy, and then Brig. Personally, I think the main issue that I saw with if we're just going down in order, with Lucio, it was amp timing, and like most of the amps were good, but there were still a few rough ones in there. And I mean, with the Mercy, I don't even know where to begin with the Mercy as well as the Brig, so I mean, I think that's actually all I have. So I appreciate the fuck out of you for watching up to this point. If you did enjoy, remember to like, comment, subscribe. I don't think I've ever actually said that. That sounds really fucking cringe. Anyways, I always let you know whenever I upload on Twitter, so follow me there to know whenever I upload. If you have anyone else that you want me to review, I'm more than happy to. And with that being said, I guess I will see you when I see you. Later.